There is a growing movement happening in churches all across America to raise awareness of Christians being executed by ISIS, churchgoers wearing orange to represent the jumpsuits worn by captives of the terrorist group, including some 20 Egyptian Coptic Christians beheaded last month in Libya. Well, the movement is called the Orange Jumpsuit Project, created by Washington, D.C. priest Reverend Patrick Mahoney, who has donned a full orange jumpsuit in honor of Pastor Saeed Abedini, currently being held prisoner in Iran. Reverend Patrick Mahoney joins me now. Reverend, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for covering the story.
Beyond the events that were so horrific and heartbreaking, the Coptic Christians we just referenced, how bad is the persecution and violence against Christians worldwide?
Well, every 5 minutes, a Christian dies for their faith around the world. That's over 100,000. It's especially horrifying for women who are sold into sex trafficking and forced marriages. And what we wanted to do is this. We wanted to find a positive, creative way in which we can stand in solidarity with our brothers and sisters and remember them. And we took a verse from the Bible, which out of Hebrews 13:3 says this: "Remember those in prison as if you were in prison with them, and those who are being mistreated as though you are suffering with them." And this was a positive way. On their Facebook pages, people have put orange sweaters and scarves. I have an orange ribbon on now. During Holy Week, we had Stations of the Cross, and I stood in solidarity with Pastor Saeed, who's separated from his beautiful wife and 2 young children. I think Americans need to realize we are seeing a genocide the likes we have not seen in a generation. And if we do not speak up, if we do not stand in solidarity, if we do not pray, then the public expression of Christianity may be wiped out in the Middle East. That's why we launched this campaign.
You brought to our attention a very famous quote by Elie Wiesel. We'll put it up on the screen because it seems to be, under the circumstances, quite propitious. "We must always take sides.
Yes.
Neutrality helps the oppressor, never the victim. Silence encourages the tormentor, never the tormented." Expand on that.
We have to take sides on this issue. There is no neutrality. When we see our brothers and sisters being brutalized and beaten and killed simply for the fact that they love Christ, we must speak up. And here's the thing. If we are silent, if we are indifferent, if we do not go to our decision makers, our church leaders, our political leaders, then we, in essence, are aiding in the violence against the persecuted church. Silence is tragic, and that's why we launched the Orange Jumpsuit Campaign. They can go to Facebook, hashtag Orange Jumpsuit Campaign. They can follow our work on Twitter. They can follow me at Rev Mahoney, and hashtag Orange Jumpsuit. We need to continue to be involved, and I want to stress this.
Right.
Through prayer, we are not powerless. Prayer can transform, shift, and shape history, and I would encourage everyone watching this to pray, to be a loud voice, to stand in solidarity with your brothers and sisters.
I'm almost out of time here, but what has made certainly headlines, Islamic terrorists taking the lives so brutally of Christians and others. Are you frustrated that perhaps Islamic clerics and theologians who have influence over Muslims are not vocal enough in speaking out against it?
Well, certainly I want to say this. We are working here in Washington, D.C. with the Muslim community and have had events in front of the White House, Christian and Muslim voices against violence. I would say this. We want everyone to speak out against injustice. We want everyone to speak out against violence. Certainly Muslim clerics, but our own president, our own administration. It's important that we come together in one voice. This impacts everyone. To use another quote, Dr. King said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." And when our brothers and sisters are being persecuted around the world, it impacts everyone across the globe.
Reverend Patrick Mahoney, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
Best of luck to you.
Thanks.